Good morning. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, can anyone guess that place? Maldives. I've never been there. I want to. What's that place? It's Cancun in Mexico. Okay, so yesterday we talked about neuroprosthetics, yeah? And the day before we talked about prosthetics, yeah? So today we'll finish that prosthetics, okay? And then we'll learn something about forward kinematics and inverse kinematics, okay? All right? Okay. Very simple, but it'll be very useful. Okay? All right. So does anybody remember anything that you heard yesterday? What are the three major trends? What are the three major trends in neuroprosthetics? What was the first one? Huh? Binary to 4D control, right? So that was the first trend. What was the second one? Open loop to closed loop. Wow, I'm getting all the answers right from here. Salem, Coimbatore, right? What is it? Where are you from? Coimbatore. Okay. You posted all the pictures on LinkedIn with the physiotherapist. I'm also teaching. No, you didn't post any of my pictures. Okay. What was the third? What was the third trend? I didn't get any answer from this side today. These guys, they didn't get samosas? Or huh? From yeah, from lab tests to clinical trials. Yes, so that was the third trend. So that's where we will continue from. This okay. Hmm. If you want to decode position of something, position of an object in your brain, where will you go? Huh? PPC. So that is the station we'll go, right? PPC. Yeah. Okay. What does it stand for? Posterior parietal cortex. Yes. And if you want to decode muscle information, where is that decoded? PMC. That is also called M1. Wow, amazing. Let's clap. Let's clap. Wow. Almost remember, like you guys are absorbing. Yeah? You remember almost everything that I shared. Okay. Where's the thinking going on? Where's the thinking? Frontal. Yes. So if we have some PhD students, if we don't see them for 2 to 3 weeks, we say that they've gone prefrontal. They're like thinking. No offense to you guys. Okay. Okay. Where's the speech? Yes, there's a beautiful area called Broca's area that decodes speech. Okay. Um, and then where's the timing? Where's the timing? Who's keeping the timing? Temporal lobe. That's right, right. And what about vision and visual image? Oh, what? I haven't even completed the question. Okay, excellent. Okay, great, excellent. Okay. And what have the biggest representations in the brain? What has the biggest representation in the brain? The most dominant. It was like freely sticking out. Huh? Huh? What body part has the biggest representation in the brain? Hand and face. Yes, yeah. Very good. Okay, excellent. You remember a lot from the class. Um, so we stopped here, right? So far in brain control, what was the maximum degrees of freedom control that you saw? How many dimensions? so far? Huh? 4 dimensions, right? Well, the monkey, self-feeding monkey, right? From University of Pittsburgh. That's where I got my PhD from, and also postdoctoral work from. Yeah. So, what were the 4 dimensions? The arm moves in 3 dimensions, but what was the 4th dimension? The grip. Very good. Yes, the grip. Amazing, amazing. Wow, you guys have very good memory. Very nice. Okay. All right. So the best so far is also from University of Pittsburgh, and here you'll see. Let's watch this and we'll discuss. Okay.
Every day as we get closer, because we drive closer and then we come up the road, it becomes flat. I'm thinking, oh, good, what are we gonna do today? What's gonna be there? And every time we do something new, it's challenging at first, and then when I get 28 out of 30 or whatever the score is, and they say that was all you, that was the computer doing, that was all you, I just can't stop smiling. It's so, oh, I'm moving things. I have not moved things for about 10 years. All right, very good.
Okay. All right. What type of disease she had? She had that in the beginning of the video. Spinal cerebral degeneration, right? So she was constantly losing neurons, right? And so they implanted, and you see that in that picture, right? You see 2 implants, right? One was in the motor cortex and the other was in the sensory cortex, okay? M1 and S1, okay? All right. Actually, when you see a picture like that, does that remind you of any movies that you have seen where there were electrodes like that connected to the brain, gear connected to the brain? Is this too old for you, or but have you seen any movies where you have seen such a thing? Can you say that loud? Yeah. Matrix? Yeah. Yeah. The first one? Yeah. You see those, right? So you plug in and you're transformed to a new world, right? So it is like that, right? So we're taking your brain signals and we are controlling limbs, arms in a new world, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. And this limb was being controlled in 7 degrees of freedom, right? What are those 7 degrees of freedom? They showed very quickly in the video. What could be that? Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. XYZ, PHRO, and what was the seventh dimension? Very good. Yes. Grip was the seventh dimension. Okay. Very good. Okay. So this is the best control so far, which is with 7 degrees of freedom. Okay. So now this is with single unit recordings. These are the most invasive, closest to the brain. But still, we are unable to get 37 dimensions out of it. We're only able to get 7 dimensions out of it. After a few years, they demonstrated 10 degrees of freedom control using synergies. Okay. So they added three more as postures. Okay. They're trying to decode postures, synergies, and they added three more. So 10 degrees of freedom. So that is the best control so far out there. Okay. Um, so that's why we all need your help, right? How can we decode these brain signals better? Okay. So they're there, but we have to understand them better. Okay. So we still don't get, even though we are close to each neuron, we're still not getting several independent controls. We're limited to 7 to 10 degrees of freedom control. Okay. And there are also several challenges. Okay. Um, Once you put this electrode, the electrode doesn't stay in that place, and then your brain starts reacting to it, right? And it starts moving the electrode. So we're not recording from the same neurons that you recorded on day one, right? So day one, if you are able to access about 1,000 neurons, huh? Day 365, you only have access to about 4 neurons because they die, right? Neuronal death, right? Cell death, right? So we lose a lot of neurons. Okay. And then there's another challenge. So let's say you control the limb today, perfect. Okay. And tomorrow you come back again. Are you the same? Hmm? You might have had tea yesterday and you might have had coffee today, right? You're not the same person, right? If you're not the same person, how will the brain signals be same, right? Right? So, and also the ambience, right? Ambient temperatures are changing. With all this, you're changing. And if you are changing, that is also influencing directly the brain signals, right? So, these are all some of the challenges. So once you plug in, is it plug and play? No, there's a lot of pre-processing, there's a lot of training, and there's a lot of challenges out there. Okay. So that's what will now lead to the next question. That is, what do you think are future directions? Okay. Where can we go? Okay. So this is a 5 to 10 minute exercise. We are again grouping up each row. Okay. Each row, each. Yeah. So team up. Where do you want to take this field? Okay. What are some of the future directions? What do you want to do? Okay. You've seen a flavor of it, right? Right. So where do you want to take this brain machine interface field when you go further? Okay. All right. 5 to 10 minutes. Let's do it. So I saw many of you had multiple ideas. Again, like the other day we did. You're going to give me the best, the top. Yes? Okay, one idea, not multimodal. Okay, one, one idea. Okay? All right, we'll start from here. What is your idea? What is the future direction?
So our idea is to use EMG to get feedback from the muscle to detect the muscle fatigue.
Okay.
That assists in enabling the exoskeleton when only when the muscle gets fatigue.
So this would have been a good answer for prosthetics.
Yes.
But this is neuro, brain.
Related
Where's
to
the
that.
brain? Huh?
That thing we
Okay,
didn't
think more. Who's in this? Okay. Okay. Yeah, point at you. Let's do it.
Sir, actually, the futuristic.
Well, please be silent and listen to it, please. And let's clap for the first team.
Our concentration is based on the electronics, the flexible electronics we have implanted inside the. Yeah. Yes, sir. Tiny, with respect to the materials, it can change. It will be related with the brain tissue related. Yeah, biocomputer. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So our idea is to create like a hybrid mechanism, sir.
Please listen to her. Please hold my closer.
So like hybrid mechanism of both EEG and EMG. So we'll like EEG will predict like have an intention of what we are going to do. And like EMG is going to give us like the muscle activation. So if you have like an hybrid mechanism, it's going to be the response speed will be faster and it will be more easier.
So you
EMG exoskeleton response speed. So this will be like an exoskeleton.
Developing nerve action potential stimulators.
developing
Nerve action potential stimulator with discrete time structures and closed loop feedbacks. For especially for stroke rehabilitation, sir.
for stroke rehab. Stimulation.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Nerve stimulation, yes.
So we can use wireless neural implants so that
Wireless neural
Okay.
implants. So so far we saw many of the videos they were using
the wires.
Why can't we use wireless implants? Very good, very good. Let's clap, let's clap. Let's speak. I thought you guys were
Yes, we are good.
together. Okay, all right.
The system may give wrong output due to the system may give wrong output. We can use machine learning and AI to improve the efficiency and accuracy of
So,
system. Yes.
PCI.
Yes. Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
You can't escape, man.
We had the same idea of ML and AI decoder.
That's right. So let's
Yes, sir.
clap for them again. LAI. Okay, thank you.
So like fully wireless implantable BMI, like pacemakers in heart will implant BMI in our brain
Brain fully implanted
without
with electrodes. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay.
So we suggest less invasive as much as possible. Less invasive. Um, so we can make a well quality and very sensitive electrodes.
EEG.
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 Yep. So we can go for less
More
invasive.
reliable, safer electrode.
Yep.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. There's a need for that. Thank you.
The lag is in whenever we are in dull mode, the brain is not sending the signal from that
That's true.
much.
Uh,
So that is the limitation.
uh,
I don't know technology and all and how the processing and all. So
coffee.
uh,
Chocolate.
daily activities, ADL,
Yeah.
we have to do even though we are dull in dull mood and everything.
Right.
Why we cannot record something? I don't know the processing and the,
Mm.
we can, when the brain is active, it is restored. Whenever the power is off, the inverter is on, going for on. That the kind of thing when the signals are receiving, that automatically the pre-recorded thing should.
So you have to
get.
be active all the time. That way you have better signal. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Let's clap for the one more idea. Okay. Who's everybody's blushing? Huh? No ideas? No ideas? Okay, that's all right. So this is the civil batch, right? So you guys, so a lot of construction engineers, they need technologies to monitor their cognitive states, their stress. Because you remember we talked about this, right? There are a lot of construction engineers that are working outside in the sun, in the hot sun sometimes. You know, we can't even stand for a few minutes in hot sun, right? And they're working for hours, right? Yeah. So their mental states need to be monitored. Their stress need to be monitored. We don't have any devices out there to do that. Okay. So there are a lot of these there are a lot of these hybrid systems that need to be developed, right? So that could be your contribution. Yeah. Good. Okay. Let's clap for them. Yes. Thank you for trying. Okay. Who's okay?
Direct
What's your idea?
through gesture and voice recognition. These interfaces are natural and touchless with the devices. So for our
Gesture and voice recognition.
yeah.
No brain. No brain needed.
Using the sensors and devices, we can detect the hand movements and body movements. Then through voice recognitions like Siri, Alexa, like that, we can control.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. So interfacing wearable sensors with IoT at home, right? To control appliances, wheelchair, robotic arms. Okay. Very good. Okay. But no brain needed for you. I mean, you need brain to, you need brain, right? But you won't use brain signals. Okay. Good. Very good. Let's clap for them. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So our idea to use brain fingerprint.
Brain finger.
Yeah. Yeah. So like how we have a finger, yeah, the same. Our brain have a neural have pattern different from with like person to another. So you mentioned something really important, like if like today record my signal, I had coffee and whatever. Yeah, if today like I record my signal and I had coffee or I have some stress or whatever, tomorrow I be different. Like the neural, the pattern, the record will be different. So if I trained model for today's signal, for tomorrow it won't work probably, or there will be different. So if the system or the model trained on my brain or a neural pattern, yeah, not the signal itself, so it can understand more like what I am trying to do or what like, yeah, better
Biometrics.
biometrics, yeah. And another idea.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Good afternoon. We could extend BCI into a safety measure while accidents happen. I might not have my phone with me always, or I wouldn't be able to send an SOS if I'm going to slip somewhere off. So there was a non-invasive device. Now, again, this is hypothetical. I'm not very much sure how it could be implemented. So there was a device by Dipender Goyal called Temple, wherein they were measuring the cranial, the blood flow. Yes. So such a device which could be used by individuals, and then let's say some accident, not a shock, some kind of yeah. So I mean, constantly read the brain signals, and if some mishap happens, I get to communicate with the external devices or some other safety helpline. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Predict if somebody is closing their eyelids for just a little bit long time, then immediately they are buzzing, beeping, so they can pick up. Driver safety. Very good.
Sir, our team's idea for the future of the prosthetic is to add a complete pressure sensitive array throughout the body of the prosthetic. By this way, we'll be able to sense whatever they are touching and send back the feedback signals to the brain so that even though they are wearing a prosthetic, they'll be able to understand what is it they're touching, sensing. Yes, not just a hand. Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Our idea is using the measuring the magnetic signals. It's like a non-contact BMI with the neurofeedback. Magnetic signals. We are measuring the magnetic signals. It's like a non-contact. As physiotherapist, yes, sir. As physiotherapist suggested, we need like more sensitive, safer. Yes, so this can be applicable for that. Like, yeah, it's non-contact. Without touching the head, we can get the signals and use it. Yeah. MEG. And there's one more idea. I don't know whether it can work or not. So anyway, we are okay. So we are reading the signals from the animals also. So if we train them like spies, so that we can apply for like a spy applications. Yeah.
Like dream mapping. Dream mapping. So some people will be in coma. So what they are thinking, if their brain is active, what they are thinking, they can't say anything like that. What they're doing, like yeah, like that. And like another thing you can do, like brain to brain communication. Yeah, brain brain to brain communication, like telepathy kind of thing.
So brain controlled nano robots or something for surgery, but with a neurofeedback so that the doctors can feel what they are working on inside the organs and everything. Yeah.
Approved one we did another implant. One if you Can you guys hear me better? Yeah, thank you. And let's clap for him. This is man, this guy, he stood Rajashekhar, right? Rajashekhar, yeah. You stood for all the 5 days, huh? Let's clap again. Let's clap again. Wow. Thank you. Okay. And then you had who had biocompatible electrodes? Who said that? Thank you so much. Biocompatible electrodes. Toward two-way BMI. So open loop, closed loop, this is, right? So closing the loop, it's only happening very recently. We're able to close the loop. We are recording the sensory, we're stimulating the sensory, recording from the motor. These are all very recent developments. We haven't stabilized anything in this direction. So that is still a work in progress. And then Dream Team, so brain to brain communication. Okay, so I'm gonna we'll trouble him more. So what are you going to do with brain to brain communication? What will you do with that? Why should we do brain?
Like what's going on in another people's mind, or some expert might be there. They might be in like long distance. So we can like other experts are there. We can exchange information, or we can improve our like cognitive skills with high potential persons like that.
Once I heard it from Sadhguru, like in Satya Yuga, when the super sun was nearer to the earth, then possibly when you come near a person, you'll be able to understand what he's thinking, right? So that type of.
After lunch, when I come near you, you know that you're going to sleep. You don't need Satya Yuga for that. We can do it in Kali Yuga. Yeah? This side. This side. This side.
But it might help in the military field, like a secret information which should not be it should be confidential, and it can be shared in such a way. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this application will be in brain-to-brain communication, but for people who cannot hear or see, yeah, their brain, it's not empty, but they don't know what we know. Like they don't like, yeah, they cannot communicate in this way. So if we can use this application to develop their brain more related to like the real life.
So that brain communication. And then the other thing that you guys have noticed is that what is the best so far? How many dimensions control? 10, right? Right? We only got up to 10 dimensional control. So if you want, so, and what is the arm plus hand? How many dimensions is this working in? Arm plus hand. About 25 dimensions. Okay, so and then we're still here. We're still here in 10 dimensional control, right? How do we go from 10 dimensional control to high dimensional control? We don't know that yet, right? Okay, and then is this thing. Okay, so let's say we are recording your EEG in our lab. Okay, perfect condition. We get all the signals, and we can record your signals, and we can control robotic limbs, computer cursors. Very happy. Yeah. Now let's take the same person in a wheelchair into a signal intersection, traffic signal intersection. And now we're recording their brain signals. Will they be the same as they were in the lab? Will they be the same? What's the difference? What did we add? Ambient noise. We added ambient noise, right? So this is another problem, right? So when we're doing this testing, it is happening in perfect environments where the signals are very, very clean. But if we take them into real world environments, right, we have a lot of challenges. How can we ensure signal stability across the board, right? So that is another challenge. And then is ethics in BMIs. So the team out there, they said, how about we get fingerprints from brain signals, right? Your brain signals are different from my brain signals. Are they? Are they? Yes or no? How many of you say yes? Almost all of you. How many of you say no? Don't raise your hand if you've lifted it the first time. Huh? So nobody's saying no. Okay. So there are unique biomarkers, and we have published a couple of papers about this way back in 2017. Your brain signals are unique, especially if your movements are unique. Your brain signals, of course, will be unique, right? That are generating these unique movements, right? So if these are unique, your brain signals could be your identity. Okay. Just like fingerprints, right? Fingerprints are your identity, right? Your signature is your identity, but I've been signing a lot of forms for, paperwork. You look at my signature, one signature is totally different from the other signature, right? That has happened to you. Is your signature the same? No, right? It changes, right? Changes all the time, right? So fingerprints can be cheated. My signature, my daughter does it, my wife does it, they do it, my signature, right? So fingerprints can be cheated, signatures can be cheated. I don't know if you know iris. Yeah, they also can be cheated. So there's this nice story that in Malaysia, there's a BMW showroom, and the owner of the showroom gets into the showroom with his fingerprint. And so the thieves, they were amazing. They were very talented. They cut his thumb. They cut his thumb and they use the fingerprint. So if everything is forgeable, then how do we build good biometrics, right? So that's why the field is evolving and is generating what are called behavioral biometrics. The way I move, there's a unique signature to it, right? The way I move my hands, there's a unique signature to it. These are called behavioral biometrics. This is still an evolving field. There's been research going on for about 20 years, but this is still an evolving field, behavioral biometrics. Okay. So in ethics is a big concern. Data privacy is a big concern. If your brain data is out there somewhere, right? Any device you buy these days, brain data is out there somewhere, right? That means your identity is out there somewhere. It's like your Aadhaar card, PAN card, passport are online somewhere on WhatsApps. They're being shared. It is like that. Okay. So ethics is a big deal. Okay. Especially the dream team, the ideas that you are proposing, they're very, very on the edge, right? You want to understand somebody else's dreams. You want to hear somebody else's thoughts, right? Yeah. So I share with my students in University of Maryland that sir, what do you do in your research? I say, we can read your minds with brain signals. And then they have stopped making eye contact with me. He will read too much and samajh lega ye banda, right? So there's ethics. There's very, very serious issues. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, like but it will be if they given access to the only army people when they caught the terrorists. So with them, they can retrieve the information from them using this thing also. Right. So it will be so government should if it takes some. Okay. Whoever you are, they're also individual. They're people. Okay. Okay. People also, but they are harming the country, so they are damaging they are killing people. That's why that's why there is no. Okay. That's true. But yes, but what you said is correct, right? If you use Facebook properly, you can learn a lot from it. But Facebook is also used for child trafficking. There's so many problems with it, right? So there's ethical. That's why I'm saying there's ethical issues. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Autism rehabilitation. Yeah. So using brain. Can you hear me? Yeah. So using brain, ADHD, autism, Down syndrome, all these disorders can be rehabilitated, trained using virtual reality, video games. So you're using your brain signals, you're giving some type of neurofeedback, you're controlling your theta oscillations. So you can train yourself like that. Exactly like that. If you have a partner, so you can pair two of them, right? And there is an exchange between the brain signals. Okay? And they're controlling two different video games, but they're partnering, teaming up to play a game.
So that way you can use it in autism rehab as well. Yeah. Very good question. Okay, so some of the recent trends that we have been seeing in science and engineering is first is brain-body interfaces. So this work came out of research from MIT, from Emilio Bizzi's lab, where they were trying to connect brain signals directly to limbs. Okay, and they were trying to see how you can learn new movements by using these signals. Okay, these are called brain-body interfaces. Okay, and then the next one is dynamical systems and models in BMIs. I think there are a couple of students here I spoke to. They're using dynamical systems parameters, and this is controls department. So a lot of control systems are used in controlling robotic limbs, etc. Okay, and then deep learning and AI, right? Pune team, that was your idea, isn't it? Using deep learning and AI to stabilize to improve brain-computer interfaces. Okay, and there's also progress in recording modalities, right? Mahindra, you said portable MEG, isn't it? Right? So portable MEG. So MEG otherwise is a big scanner like a magnet room, etc. Right? But if there is a portable MEG, right, that's being developed at Princeton. So that is one exciting area. And then is optogenetics, using light to control brain, right? We talked about it, right? So let's take a quick look at this video.
All of the emphasis on to the event applications on optical fibers and the lasers that you can use to activate in animal models, for example, chemical studies, these neurons that you are. How do we do this? Well, in 2004, in collaboration with your novel control based on this vision thinking way, there's a certain alga that swims in the wilds and it needs to navigate towards light where it goes to the size of and it's sensing light with a little isoton, which works not unlike how our eye works. This membrane, or the boundary, it contains little proteins that are easy to convert light into electricity. So these molecules are called chirotopsins. And each of these proteins actually has that floor as well that I told you about. But blue light gets in, it opens a little hole and allows charged particles to enter the bright spot. And that allows this bright spot to have an electrical signal just like a solar cell charging the battery. So what they do is take these molecules and put on the solid in neuron. And again, the protein is encoded for in the DNA of this organism. So all you have to do is take that DNA, put it into a gene therapy vector like a virus, and put it into neurons. So it turned out that this was a very productive time in gene therapy and lots of viruses are coming along. So they tried to be very simple to do. And early in the morning, one day in the summer of 2004, we gave it a try to work for the first time. Take this DNA, put it in the neuron used natural protein making machinery to fabricate these little light sensitive proteins and install them all over the cell and control animal numbers. And next thing you know, you have the neuron, which can be activated with light. It's very powerful. All you have to do is to figure out how to deliver these genes to the cells you want and not all different agents, right? And you can do that. You can tweak the viruses to hit just some cells and not others. But there's other genetic you can play in order to get whether creative cells. Let's drill it down to company numbers optogenetics.
All right, so please write that down, optogenetics. Okay, I showed you only short video, but this is such a fascinating field where you can modulate the neurons, okay, change the neurons and make them light sensitive. Now, when you shine light, they will respond. Okay, all right. So this is optogenetics. Yes. When did we talk about this? Correct, right? So we talked about it, right? So you're recording electrical signals. And if you're also using electrical signals to stimulate, then you're introducing interference, blur, noise. And then if you want to avoid that, you have to do block time. Block time is not natural. Then how do we do this simultaneously, right? You have to use different types of modalities. That is light. Okay, so you can use light to stimulate while you are recording electrical signals. That way you can avoid this interference. Make sense? Yes? Okay. All right, good. All right. So now we in the videos that you saw a lot of sophisticated upper limbs, but we didn't see many sophisticated lower limbs, right? I just wanted to show you this one video. This is from Boston Dynamics, and there are these lower limb processes that are gearing up in these in this company as well. Big Dog and Cheetah, and I want to show you this video for Big Dog. Okay, and please observe this. I'm going to lower the volume. It creates a lot of noise. Very annoying. Yeah. But observe that, and I'll ask you some questions, okay? This was a DARPA sponsored project. Okay. Any observations from that video? Raise your hand if you want to share. Yeah. Correct. Right. Right. The key word there is balance. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Right. So different terrains, right? How many of you have walked in snow? Just for my nobody. Nobody? Okay. Yeah. Where? What place? Australia. Okay, okay. Thank you. So so they showed snow terrain, but also they showed ice, right? Ice, right? It's black ice. It's very slippery. Okay, and we've we see our students sleeping all the time. Black ice. Okay, in that type of terrains, this robot was balancing. Okay, so first of all, it's a quadruped, right? Right? It's not a biped. It's a quadruped. So you would think that, if there are four wheels, you think that you don't need any balance, right? But look at that, how difficult it was. It was showing all the terrains, right? So, and remember, during the prosthetics, we tried this balance exercise, right? So now we can appreciate more and more how this intelligent biomechanical system is able to handle so much balance, isn't it? Right? And this is that system that gets disrupted when there is disease. Yeah? Yeah. So when you look at these systems, then you understand that if you just want to replicate just normal walking, it is so difficult. And you're doing it so easily when you're walking in snow on the road. You're changing terrains, you don't even know. You're running on treadmill, you don't even know. Right? Right? And this is why you need to understand biomechanical system, human biomechanical system. That way we can help people with disorders, and also it will actually help us understand, right? All right, how to build complex systems. Okay, so this is the last slide for neuroprosthetics. So we talked about BCI, BMI. We talked about basics of neuroscience, right? And then what was the motivation for doing all this? We talked about some statistics, right? And then we looked at some of the brain recording modalities. What is the most invasive? What is that called? Most invasive brain recording. Correct. Single units, right? What is the most safest? EEG, right? Electroencephalography is one of them. MEG is one of them, right? All right. And then we talked about three major trends that are pushing this field forward. One was from binary to 4D control, and then the second was from open loop to closed loop, and then the third is from lab trials to clinical trials, because that's how you take your technologies to people who need it, right? Right? And then that's why the physiotherapists kept emphasizing that we need safer technologies as well, right? If you are working with implanted electrodes that need surgeries that are expensive, when will we take them to people, right? So that you need to also think about that time to market, yeah, when you're developing technologies. And then we also saw some of the future trends, yeah? Okay, so what's the time? Lunchtime? Lunchtime. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. In the afternoon, we'll talk about inverse kinematics, forward kinematics. Okay. All right. That's a good exercise for afternoon because the lights are blinking. You're sleeping. Yeah. So you will do some hands-on. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Thank you.